Yo, what's good, my peoples? It's your boy, Big Chris, aka the Compton Animator, and I'm here to bring you another WWE Monday Night Raw review. So tonight I'm reviewing WWE Monday Night Raw for June the 30th, 2014. And let's get into this show. We right off the heels of Money in the Bank. I would say a very solid show. Not too much in the guy who won the title, John Cena, but for what we got a solid show. So let's get into this Monday Night Raw after Money in the Bank. And you start off the show with the Authority coming down to the ring. They get on the mic and they basically just start talking about all the stuff that happened last night, congratulating Seth Rollins on his win, and talking about how everything about Daniel Bryan. Stephanie confesses that, not confesses, but talks about how she grew up in the town that they're in, Connecticut, which also is the home of the WWE. So she goes into that, and they bring out John Cena. So John Cena comes out, your new WWE World Heavyweight Champion. He got the belts dangling around his neck like a chain, I guess. So he gets in the ring and he gets into a talk with Steph. Basically congratulating him, and they're kind of acting all happy with him, like the bosses that are taking acceptance for everything that you've done, but they ain't did shit. They've been putting you down the whole time, and they tell him that they got a surprise for him, and they basically tell him that he's going to be on a new video game for WWE 2K15. And it's also, you could tell that they kind of doing this as well because he's the his 15 title win, and the name of the game is 15. So I guess those two things coincide with each other. So he goes back and forth with them, and I liked how when his music played with this banner coming down, you get Stephanie dancing with his music. I was like, she is so much the corny white chick who like the corny white chick like that y'all go at like the company parties and stuff like that, and she does a goofy ass dancing to the hip hop and shit, and you're like, oh my fucking god. But she does that very well. Just that corny ass boss, she does it very well. So they show the banner, and Cena goes, what is wrong? Why are y'all starting talking all this crazy stuff? Like congratulate me and stuff like that. I really did like how they even played up to the whole fact that Cena is an A+ player to them. He is a top player, so they would play to the fact of liking him, but having him come back and say, y'all don't like me. You showed it last night, so I did like that. And he kept going on talking shit about the Authority. The Authority basically tell him, okay, you want to play hard game, you play hard game. You got Triple H start doing a little gangster talk that Cena does, and telling him he dropping his R's, doing a Boston accent. Cena goes and gets into a Boston accent and tell him, do they want to play hard? Cena says, yeah, they want to play hard. So they set up a match for the what is it called, Battlegrounds, and it's basically a fatal 4-way match with John Cena, Roman Reigns, and Randy Orton and Kane. So it's an okay match that's going to be at the pay-per-view. I think it's going to be fine for what it is. So next you get John Cena, who accepts that, goes up to the ramp, and Triple H says that just in case he wins at Battlegrounds, he has a plan B, and they bring out Seth Rollins. So they pose with Seth Rollins, and as far as this segment goes, I thought it was a pretty okay segment. Some of the stuff with John Cena and all of them was a little corny here and there, but I thought it kept continuity and keeping the whole thing of, Triple H and them, they're going to like John Cena just to, kind of get on his heels and all the stuff with his success. But, they're still the guys who wanted their guy to win in Randy Orton. So, still going to add some conflict in between this and not acting like Cena's just dumb and just going to accept what they're going to do. So I did like that. And having Seth Rollins be in the plan B and, bringing him out at the top to show that, he is their guy as well. I thought that was good too. So next you get a match with Seth Rollins and Rob Van Dam, and they have a pretty chill match. It started off kind of slow at the beginning, but you got Rob Van Dam who starts out just doing his moves and stuff, and that's what kind of got it slow. But once Seth Rollins got in and started picking up the pace, the crowd got really into it. You got This Is Awesome chance, Seth Rollins just going at it, and Rob Van Dam as well, just keeping the pace up and kept it going, just doing all their moves and just hitting a lot of stuff. They kept it going all the way around the ring and stuff, which I very liked, and doing things off the rope, and just the pace between both guys worked very well. So RVD attacked the lower back of Seth Rollins during this whole match, which also I like, going off of his big fall that he had at the Money in the Bank. And it came down where Seth Rollins takes Rob Van Dam and like kind of pulls him into the ropes a very interesting way, then takes that and leads into the curve stomp, which was very nice, and picks up the win. Renee gets into the ring, goes into a promo with Seth Rollins, and he just basically starts talking about how he is the guy and he is gonna, cash in his belt. I mean his contract to get the belt. Then you get Dean Ambrose, who gets on the screen. Hold on a second to see what he says. Oh, that's right. So before that, I mean, Seth Rollins, this is something else I like that he said. So he gets on, he starts talking to Renee, and he starts calling her Toots, and he tells her that he wants to be called Mr. Money in the Bank. So I did like that. You get Dean Ambrose, who gets on the Titantron, and he's cutting a promo backstage to Seth Rollins and tells him basically that no matter what you do, anytime you think you're going to cash in that Money in the Bank, I'm going to be there. Don't think this is over. I'm going to be there. So I really did like that, and still keeping the tension between both guys. So, and Seth Rollins was just screaming at the end of this. So next you get Lana, who comes out with Rusev. She starts cutting this promo on just the kids and saying how everybody says that in America says, it's just playing a game, having fun, but that's loser talk, some type of stuff like that, and people in Russia play to win. So she says all that, gets the crowd pissed off. They start chanting USA. She tells them to shut up, and she starts mocking them, saying USA. So I thought that was pretty chill for the intro. Then you get Zeb Coulter, who comes out and he goes on about how this is America and you have the freedom to say all these things because you come and say it in America and you can't do that in Russia, which I very much liked. He didn't play to the crowd, saying how, other things with the crowd and this and try to get him with him. He stayed himself and just made the crowd come on his side. So I really did like that. And he also, played to the fact that he has said crazy shit, but because of his freedom of speech, he gets to say that crazy shit. So he starts going at Lana, telling her basically, you got the freedom to say all the stuff that you hear, but I like one thing that you said, and that nobody can beat Rusev because you have everything that happened with Big E and all the other guys. Rusev is undefeated. So you get him that says Jack Swagger can actually beat Rusev. They go into the We the People chant, and this was probably the loudest We the People chant I've heard since Cesaro was with them. Very loud, very good. The crowd was very hyped, and I really did like this. Rusev kind of gets up, and he's trying to go attack Swagger, but they don't really, Lana kind of keeps it from happening, tries to get him out the ring, but Rusev comes back in. Jack Swagger does a few arm drags a couple times, and Rusev is pissed off on the outside. Lana screams at him, trying to calm him down, and you basically get a big old stare down between both guys and the managers. I really, really like this. It changed Coulter and Swagger into faces in mere minutes, and it kept the heel aspect of what Lana and Rusev was doing. This was very good, and it worked very well for this show. I really like this a lot. And you just get, I'm tripping. I thought I had another picture there. So you just get Lana, who just starts screaming at Coulter and stuff at the end. Like I said, it was a very good segment, and finally we got the interaction between the real Americans and the Russians. Nothing better. Old school wrestling right here. So next you get Sheamus, who comes down with the Usos, and they have their match with the Wyatt family in their bomb-ass entrance. You get a match which is a pretty chill match. It wasn't as good as the Usos tag match that they had last night, but you get a match that was pretty good. All guys going at each other, just going crazy. The crowd started getting into it midway towards the match, and just a bunch of craziness like they've always had. I thought the match went on a little bit too long, and that just placates to the whole 3-hour Raw thing, but I thought it was pretty chill for what it was, and the crowd did get into it. And the match ends with Luke Harper hitting. I think he hit a big boots, or he either hit a big boot or he hit the. Hold on, let me see. He hit the clothesline. He hit the spinning clothesline onto. They don't say one of the Usos, and it picks up the win from that. And you get Bray Wyatt, who chairs with Sheamus staring at them. So I really did like this. They played all around the ring with this, and Bray Wyatt played it really smart in here as well. I thought that was very good. So pretty chill matches here, and so far it's been a pretty chill show. So Next, you get Bo Dallas, who comes out and he starts talking. He basically comes out and says, "Let's have a moment of silence for the guys that are injured right now, including Wade Barrett and Daniel Bryan." Then he gets on his knees for a full fucking minute, and just tries to do the moment of silence. He get the crowd to boo him and stuff. I thought he did this a little bit too long, but I kind of get it. He did get the crowd pissed off at him, and they started booing. So I thought, it kind of needed to be done to for his little irritation thing. Hopefully, this same thing can translate to what happens at NXT, because he does this kind of similar thing to NXT, but the crowd interacts more with it. Hopefully, he can keep annoying them till they interact with him in that way. So, hopefully they can get somewhere with this. But he basically shows the video for what happened with Daniel Bryan and says that if they want to get better, they need to believe. I thought this was an okay promo for what happened here. It wasn't nothing too much to it. So next you get a match with Nikki Bella versus the Funkin' Naturals in a handicap match. It all comes from a backstage promo that between Nikki and Stephanie, where they just have an interaction backstage, and Stephanie says, something about Brie Bella, and tells her that they're gonna. I have it right here. Oh, so Nikki says that Bree was her guest for Money in the Bank, and she didn't know it. She made a mistake doing that. Stephanie walks in and informs Nikki that she has a handicap match. So basically, that's about it. Just Stephanie playing more of the heel role to the Bellas. You get the match with the Funkadactyls and her. Cameron plays the beginning of the match, starts trying to beat down on Nikki. It really didn't do too much. Nikki comes back at her, backs her up into the corner, and you get Naomi, who tags herself in, kind of getting a little tension between them, with Naomi just saying, "Fuck this, you're getting your ass whipped, I'm gonna tag myself in." Beats down on Nikki, gets her moves off, hits her finisher, picks up the win, and then you get a kind of beef between both of the girls. Cameron pissed off that Naomi tagged herself in, so it was a Divas match. Really nothing, really short, and I think this is our first Divas match of the night, so it is what it is. But I do like that they really did play the tension very hard here with both of the girls, and that may end up getting them fully split up, which what they really need to do. So next you get Paul Heyman, who comes out and he does his whole thing of 1-1, 1-21 Brock Lesnar and all that stuff. Introduces Cesaro, and he has a match with Kofi Kingston, and they have an okay match here. Kofi does his thing, jumping all around. Cesaro does his strongman moves. I did like the part where Cesaro plays that he's going to do the Cesaro swing and doesn't do it, and just starts stumping out Cody Rhodes. It drills some heat right there, but Cody ends up picking up the win here with a roll up, and they did it on the app, which I thought was weird, but I kind of understand that they want to get more people to watch the app and not just just download it, get them to watch the app, and something big can happen on the app. I get that, but don't placate to the people who are paying their cable bill to fucking watch your show. I mean, to me, you can do something like this if it was on network TV, but people that are paying cable bills to get to be able to watch Raw and stuff like that, you don't kind of do things like that. I understand, watch it on the app, but especially for somebody like me on the West Coast, where Raw comes on early on cable, and if I have to catch it on the internet, it comes on early. They don't give it to us on the app on the West Coast, so we won't be able to see it at all. So that was kind of sucky. So after you get that, you get Cesaro, who just goes straight crazy and start beating down on Kofi Kingston. I really did like that. They didn't just have Cesaro lose out of nothing. Even though it was a roll up, I'm happy that Cesaro just came back and he was just going all over the place, just throwing Kofi Kingston over the announcer's table, he threw him right into Michael Cole, and Michael Cole was off the announcer for a minute. Then he threw him on the outside, dragged through the chair, and had Paul Heyman sitting in the chair afterwards. Then he dragged Kofi Kingston back in and just basically whooped his ass, hit him with a big clothesline, and just walked away. I really did like the ending right here, just having Cesaro look like a beast and drawing some heat from this. I thought that was pretty chill. So next you get Damian Sandow, who comes up dressed as Mr. McMahon and placates to the crowd, saying that he's Vince Sandow, McMandow, I think he calls himself, and basically saying he brought in guys like Hulk Hogan and Stone Cold, trying to get cheers from the crowd, and saying that he's going to be put into the they having a battle royal match for the IC title, since Bad News Barrett won't be won't be back with his shoulder injury. So he starts saying that he's going to put himself into that match. And you already have guys like Cesaro who's in the match too. So I think Paul Heyman says that at his intro, has his promo. So you get this. Stephanie McMahon gets on screen, says Damien Sandow is talking his own. Oh, what do you say? How do you say that word? Hold on a second. Okay, so Steph gets on the screen and she tells Damien Sandow what do you think he's doing, trying to make a joke of Vince McMahon. That's his father. That's her father, and he's basically royalty and stuff. So says that I'm gonna send out there a guy that's gonna be in the battle royal as well, and she sends out Great Khali. Great Khali hits him once with the with that little chop that he does, and then pins Sandow in no time. So I thought it was pretty funny seeing Sandow come out as Vince McMahon, even though I don't like that he's doing this stuff. But if he has to do it, I like that he's just going with it and, just trying to make the best of it. I mean, because there's really nothing you can do but make the best of, this shit. He has to pick up a paycheck, so I guess so. But I thought he did a well job just trying his best to go with what's being given to him. So next, you get a big entrance. They were playing this up all night as somebody that's a movie star and was ex-WWE champion was coming, and they bring back the Miz. Miz gets on, says he's a movie star, and he came back to WWE to get acceptance of the fans. And I did like that, he was playing and saying that, still doing the heelish thing, or playing back to the heelish thing that, y'all don't accept him, y'all don't cheer for him, and I'm in the Hollywood. Hollywood is cheering for me. Y'all need to do the same thing. So I like that he played to that. He starts going on about it, and then you get Chris Jericho who returns, and the crowd goes crazy. They even have this dude at one point when Chris Jericho comes out, he just goes, "Oh shit!" I really did like that, and I thought that was pretty funny. But Chris Jericho comes out. He gets in the ring with the Miz. Miz starts going at him, saying, "Why are you coming out here doing my moment?" Starts talking shit to him, and Chris Jericho hits him with the code breaker. Gets on the mic and says, "Damn, that felt good," and starts going to say this is Raw is Jericho, but it's interrupted by the Wyatt family. And they go attack him. Bray Wyatt hits him with the Sister Abigail, and they stand over Chris Jericho. Follow the buzzers. I really like this segment. Chris Jericho coming back after, months. I think he is since last year he hasn't been in the WWE, and just having that with him coming back, and also the whole thing of with, just the Wyatt with Chris Jericho attacking the Miz, and then the Wyatt family coming out at the end, and just basically hopefully setting up something between Bray Wyatt and the family versus the Miz. I mean the versus Jericho, which will be a very good match and something very good for Bray Wyatt. So hopefully they can push this all the way towards SummerSlam. That would be a good match for SummerSlam. So they may even use this to set Bray Wyatt versus The Miz at Battlegrounds, then Bray Wyatt versus Jericho at SummerSlam. So there's no telling what they're going to do, but I thought this was a really good segment. So next you get Santino, who's backstage, and he's trying to do a barbecue. Nobody comes for the barbecue. Adam Rose comes in, tries to get him to drink these hard iced tea. They sing about it, party about it, and it's basically just a commercial. This is where Adam Rose needs to be, with Santino needs to be doing these gimmick backstage segments, because there's really nothing you can do with Adam Rose anymore. I mean, his gimmick was brought out of NXT way too early. I mean, when he came out NXT with that new gimmick, they brought him back. They brought him to the WWE in like about 2 months. I'm like, you got to let him play at NXT with that gimmick for a while to let it breathe and to figure out what it is more than just an entrance. But this is all that is for this best day segment. Next, you get Fandango, who comes out with Layla and just dancing to the ring. They get a match between him and Ziggler. So basically Ziggler did his moveset on Fandango, trying to beat him up. Fandango did a couple moves and gyrated his hips the whole fucking time. And after that you get Summer Rae, who comes in the ring, kisses Dolph Ziggler, has Fandango look at her weird, like, what the fuck are you doing? Dolph Ziggler goes back to kiss her and then hits Fandango with the zigzag after all that and just cheers afterwards. So I guess they're playing back the whole thing with Summer Rae and Fandango and Layla. I would like it if they push Ziggler into that way, because they are getting a lot of TV time with this whole, with this whole angle that they're doing with Layla and Summer Rae. So hopefully they can push Ziggler into this and he can actually have a story for once and be in a story for once and not just a guy in a gang of matches. So, even if he has to bite off this, I guess it's okay for him. But, I would even like him being the Intercontinental Champion right now. I think, winning that Battle Royal would be a good thing for him, too. They can probably do this in the Battle Royal. So, next you get Stardust and Goldust, who comes out in Ryback, so for their match. So they have a match. Ryback Soul is taking the most control at the beginning of the match. You even get Ryback, who does his feed me more arm things before he does the his meat hook elbow, and the crowd starts doing the feed me more, and he just looks back and says still got it, so like that, which I thought was very funny. But you get it to where they're beating up Goldust for the beginning of the match, and basically you get Cody Rhodes, who comes in for the hot tag and does a new type of finisher onto Curtis Axel and pins him 1, 2, 3, and they cheer afterwards. So it was an okay match. The crowd started to get behind the Brotherhood a little bit in this match, but it was too much and too further into the third hour for it to be anything special. I think if you push this more to the beginning of the show, you may be able to get something and some crowd reaction for these two, but pushing it towards that third hour, the crowd is already tired and you're just pushing on them a gimmick like this. So next you get Paige, who comes out and she finally gets on the mic in the ring, and she's talking about how, she's been a champion for 3 months now since she's entered the WWE, and everybody's been calling her, just saying that she isn't worthy of that title and stuff. So she's basically been saying that she's beaten everybody who's came and said all that stuff. Hold on a second, I want to make sure I'm getting what she said right. So yeah, she comes in and she just starts speaking all that, saying that everybody's been saying that she's a fluke champion, and she's basically saying I've beaten everybody that come to try to take this title. I'm not a fluke champion. I'm the real deal. So after she says that, AJ Lee's music hits and the crowd goes fucking nuts right after this. Just starts going crazy. She gets in the ring. She starts congratulating Paige like Paige did her on after the WrestleMania, and basically tells Paige that she's happy for her. She realizes how she was just going crazy when she had the title, and that she wants to give back the condolences that Paige gave her. So Paige gets on the mic and starts saying, "No, you're not going to trick me. You're not going to get me to give you a title match." AJ Lee asked the crowd, do they want a title match? They say yes, and they get into a title match. As far as this promo segment goes, I like that they finally got Paige back on the mic, and they actually started drawing this more kind of hellish type, egotistical way with Paige, saying that, oh, you're not going to say, I'm a fluke champion, I'm the real deal type of thing, and they started pressing this whole thing, of her not wanting to defend her belt when she's been defending it time and time after again. So even playing into this more thing that AJ is the girl that, could beat her. So I really did like that. So you get AJ, who says, okay, yes, let's go for the match. They have a match, and Paige goes dominant for this first part of the match, which is really the first time she really does this. AJ did the first attack by just jumping on Paige and doing her little crazy thing like Dean Ambrose does, but Paige just starts going crazy, throwing her down and stuff, screaming, telling her, basically saying she ain't nothing and stuff like that, and she's not going to win. AJ Lee takes that, slaps the shit out of her, rolls her up, and your new Divas champion, AJ Lee. Crowd goes crazy. And also, these girls worked very well, because you knew AJ Lee was going to get them CM Punk chants since that's her husband now. And these girls worked very well to calm that down. They didn't let it interfere with their promo, and they didn't let it interfere with the match. And, the crowd went wild. AJ Lee is your new Divas champion. Paige played it off very well, crying in the ring and being pissed off. I think this is where you push Paige to heel. Her look says heel, even though she played the anti-diva in the NXT and played that as a face. I think her look in here right now and everything about her in-ring style says heel. So hopefully they do this to push her to heel. She did get a few let's go AJ, let's go Paige chants in the ring, but Paige needs to be a heel when it comes to this against AJ. So AJ's your new Divas champion. I'm happy that she's back and that the rumors weren't true that she was pregnant. So from the looks of like the way CM Punk look right now, he the one that looks pregnant, so that's pretty funny to me. But happy she's back and congratulations on her marriage. So next you get John Cena, who comes out for his match of tonight that they said that was going to happen at that the authority said was going to happen tonight. Him and Roman Reigns, who Roman Reigns kind of has a new dress with the shield armor. It's not the whole pockets and stuff anymore, and it adds a little bit of blue to him, so it's not just all black, which I really do like. Even though I kind of want him to lose the shield armor a little bit, but I like that they changed it enough to make it more of him. So you get them two versus Randy Orton and Kane. And as far as this match goes, it was okay for what it was. The beginning segment was kind of slow, just basically John Cena and Randy Orton going at it. Finally, also Triple H was on the commentary. You finally get Roman Reigns, who comes in, and Randy Orton decides to not deal with that. Then you get Kane, who comes in, and they just start, him and Roman Reigns just start going back and forth at it with each other. I really did like how they played up Roman Reigns here, but also kept Randy Orton and Kane looking strong as well. You get Randy Orton and Roman Reigns, who just starts going crazy with each other, fighting their way towards the back. Cena comes in, tries to go at Kane, but ends up getting thrown outside, then hit with the steps, which I really didn't like. That they just didn't end the match clean, and Kane just went beast mode on the Cena, especially for the fans that are not liking Cena right now. Push him down a little bit after that big win, which I thought was very good. Does a tombstone on Cena, and that ends it right there. It looks like Kane is going to get a chair after this and beat down onto Cena. No, that was before this. The tombstone happens, then Triple H comes in, backs Kane away, and motions his hands for Seth Rollins to come out. Seth Rollins comes out. The crowd goes crazy about this. Looks like he's going to do the whole cashing in thing, and the referee starts saying, "Oh no, you can't do that. Cena has to be standing for this." Triple H goes over there, but out of nowhere, Dean Ambrose comes out to a crazy fucking big pop and starts going crazy, fighting with Seth Rollins. They fight all the way to the back. Into the arena, into the crowd, and fight all the way to the back through there. Kane gets a chair, tries to beat down John Cena more. Roman Reigns runs out, spears Kane, goes crazy, does his oorah thing, and has a big ass stare down with Triple H to end it. So the beginning match part I really didn't like. I thought it was a little bit too slow and didn't really play up towards everything I wanted. But once it proceeded more into the match, Roman Reigns started getting all his moves in and stuff. The hot tag to Cena kind of brought it back down. He just started going through the 5 moves of doom. But Roman Reigns fighting towards the back with Randy Orton did a very nice job. And then Kane just saying fuck it and taking out Cena as best as he could was very nice. The cash in stuff I really did like. And Dean Ambrose coming out to that big pop, getting Seth Rollins out there, kept playing up to that, and kept his word that anytime Seth Rollins is going to try to cash in, I'm going to be there. I really did like. And then Roman Reigns running back in, spearing Kane, and basically having this big ass stare down with the boss. Very fucking good episode of Raw tonight. I thought they did a lot of things well here. The 3 hours did drag it back as far as, because you had those 3 hours, you had to add more filler, and a couple matches like the Wyatt's versus Shield and Usos match had to go on a little bit longer. But as far as everything else goes tonight, I really liked it. You had 3 people returning in AJ Lee, The Miz, and Jericho. You had a title change. You had Cena debuting the new the new video game cover, which is Cena on the fucking video game cover. Who cares? I'm just hoping that the video game is good. But you had a lot of things that did, played up to everything tonight. It wasn't great, but I thought it was really good. My grade is an A-. First time I gave Raw an A in a while, but an A- nonetheless. Almost a B+, but an A-. I thought it was a very good night of Raw tonight. I hope you people enjoy my review. Like, comment, subscribe. My links to hit me up are down below. You can hit me up on Instagram at Compton_animator, and you can hit me up on Facebook at Christopher Wallace. Thank you for watching. Peace.